Hello Intuitors, it's Aria here, and I'm just about to get into doing a reading for everybody by their Zodiac sign. It will be essentially a love forecast for 2019. I'm kind of focusing in on a time period of about 6 months because I plan on doing the reading again maybe once every 3 months or so to see how things are changing. But this is like a long-term love forecast for a larger period of time. However, I will say that I do expect that for every person, it might unfold a little bit differently timing-wise. For some of you, this story might unfold in a really, sooner time frame than 6 months, and some of you it might be farther out. I kind of look at it as the bell curve. So what I'm going to do at the end of the reading, make sure you stay tuned all the way till the end because I'm going to do a really fun pick a card reading that will give you a time frame that gives you a better idea, a sense of how and when this might unfold, because I know a timing question is something that I most often get. When do you see this likely to happen? I will have to say, however, that as a card reader, not only for myself but for others, I have found that because we all have free will choice, and because the energies that are being looked at any given time in a situation can always change based on the choices that you make or the choices the other person makes, that the timing can always be a tricky thing. And so understand that anytime we're looking at a timing situation or even any situation that's being painted in the cards, if it really resonates inside of you and you really feel the truth of it, then it's pretty likely that this is the course that you're truly on at this time, and that if no major decisions are changed, or like some of the things that you have free will choice in or that they have free will choice in, if there's no major changes in those, like where they're headed, that's the direction you guys are going. But of course, as human beings, we do have a tendency to, have monkey wrenches thrown into things. Maybe something else comes along that you didn't expect or see. And so, that can always change the outcome. But at any given time, I think it's actually a very useful tool to take a look at a card reading and say, okay, where are things headed right now? Because if I don't like this story, what can I do to change this? Or if I would like to see this occur, what can I do to make sure that it stays on course? So basically, that's how you can use these readings. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, rising, or your Venus as well, in case one of these readings doesn't really resonate with you. Maybe the other one will. Or maybe you'll get more details from one of the other readings as well. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing to my channel. And we're going to get right into your personalized reading for your sign of the Zodiac. And looking forward to seeing you there. Where are you at right now? You have the key. You have the key for the moon is about recognition, invitation, getting what you want. But the whip is a negative card usually. It can mean sex. That's one meaning for it. That's its positive meaning. Other than that, it means arguments, negativity, kind of difficult things that come around and go around that don't feel very good. I'll darken that up so hopefully you can. That's just the sun card. The sun is a great card to have. I don't know if that's too dark. I need to brighten it up just a bit. Sorry, my light is over to the side, so it kind of washes out the cards on the right. All right, so now where are we, or what our suggested actions are? Ooh, cut the negative person out of your life. It's been a long time coming. Okay, I feel like this snake here and the mouse and the whip are all connected. It is talking about someone for you who is a negative thing in your life. The whip talks about it being something that can be reoccurring and keeps up coming over and over again. It's arguments, it's not seeing eye to eye, it's negativity, it's you beating up yourself, it's them beating up you. And that's the whip part. The broom part of it is like what just needs to be swept away. It's just stuff that needs to be swept away. The mice is about something that eats at you and like takes away and detracts, and like even like next to the home it talks about things being like what is like losses in the home. It even could mean like you're gonna like there's a worry you should be concerned here about maybe a theft in your home. But, you know, really, I'm feeling like for most people, it's more just like what takes away and detracts from your happiness at home, because the sun is happiness at home. So where you're headed with this, you have the key. First of all, you have the key to, the moon is beautiful. It's about invitation. It's about recognition. It's about just very lovely energy. It's about going deep within, and the key is a breakthrough. So you have all this within you. You have the key is in your hand for unlocking and having this beautiful experience that the moon has to offer. And yet you have the whip over here that's like thrashing you, you know? And so in a love situation, you know, it's interesting because what I'm not seeing here is like, oh, here's the beautiful, happy love relationship. And we'll get some tarot cards about that, but it feels to me like most of the Sagittarius who are tuning into this message, just because there's just some like housekeeping and some things in your own right now, they're coming up front and center in order to open up the way. Now, it could be this is with the same person. If this is a person in your life and this is your significant other already, or they have been, then it could be in some cases for you that you're still going to be a love match. Like, it's a good match to be in, but this unhappiness has to be dealt with because it's eating away your happiness at home. And in the end, it would even become, well, like this is this just suggested action is to cut away this negativity and this poison. And whether this is you, you know, like sometimes this is us. Like we get triggered to be this poisonous person to be with, and we've got to cut our part of it away. Or it could be them and they need to be cut away from your life, or just deal with what it is that you need to deal with because it's been there for a long time. The Tower is about things that have been standing and been for a very, very long time. Right here we have lots of evidence for great happiness in love. We have the key, the recognition, the sun, and also the sun and the moon are the archetypal feminine and masculine. So we have this, you know, the feminine and masculine are there. What it's really showing me, Sagittarius, is that if you really want the happy, great love in the next 6 months to a year of your life, this is what you'll need to do. And if you haven't even met this person yet, then I feel like this is talking about your past and like healing you need to do in your past, because otherwise it still already is eating away your happiness at home. And it's been around for a long time because it's inside of you. You have attracted these kinds of relationships. You have attracted and had these experiences for a reason, because they're to highlight in you what needs to be healed. And so for you to have this happiness in this relationship and a positive relationship come in, this is what's showing that needs to be done and healed right now. Now I'm going to take a look here at the some tarot cards. I really just want to pull up some more information here about you know, I feel like this story here was really told. I'm feeling like I'm gonna see Spirit, whatever you need to bring in right now to show me here what we're talking about. That's really too many. I'm not gonna take all those. So I have the Four of Pentacles and the moon. I'm sorry, the moon. So this is really deep-seated stuff. The Four of Pentacles, it's been stuck and held in you for a really long time. And the moon talks about really going within. By the way, this is the vice versa tarot deck. And instead of having a back to the card, they just have another picture. So you literally see the back. That's the back of one. Those are the backs and these are the front. Or actually, it's not really back and front. It's more like night and day in the case of some of them. That's night and night. Anyway, all right. So the Four of Pentacles is about what has been. It's very grounded and stable, and it's like it's not really going anywhere anytime soon. And so the stuff that is inside of you isn't going to get dealt with and go away very easily. But I'm being drawn to the ball of light in her hand, and I'm feeling like it's just like you have the magic in your hands to deal with something, even though it's been, you know, seated really deep for a long time. So I feel like that message was just kind of about this whole situation. Let's get some more about what might be going on with these, with Sagittarius in their love life, with either a current person they have in their life or someone coming in the next few months. So first of all, I feel like you don't see it yet. You're we've got the Eight of Swords, and you're being blindfolded, and you don't see it yet coming. But we have the Knight of Swords, and he's coming in, and he's coming in fast. So I do feel like there's someone coming in, and if it's someone you already know, it's like there's some aspect of them that's coming in, and they do want to talk. And then we have a Tower coming, so it does look like it could cause a disruption when they come in. And it looks like someone's standing up, and I feel like this could be you. The Seven of Wands is about holding, holding your ground. So I feel like there is someone that's coming in who wants to talk. You don't see them coming, but it could cause a big, you know, shake up in your life. The Tower looks like a traumatic card. I sometimes really love when the Tower comes up, though, because if I have things going on in my life that I'm not appreciating at the moment, it's like, good, we're gonna get something to shake that up. But it does look like you may be having to hold your ground in some regard with this person, and the reason is because you've had some struggles with them in the past. So like, I feel like you may have someone coming in that you need to be careful with. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't mean that you don't end up having, you know, a good love or whatever develop with them. It's just that they come charging in, and some of this stuff like that's happened in the past between you, it could be this person is coming back in, and it's been negative in the past, and you've known that. Maybe you already had cut them away, and now they're coming back, and it's important for you to hold your ground. Otherwise, you're going to get back into the same old patterns. So let's see what happens next. So we have the Sun. And we do have the back of the Sun, which is a very kind of more of a negative side of that, which it's hard to mention a negative side to the Sun card. Wait a minute. It's not the Sun. It's the Death. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm getting used to this. That's number 13. It's the Death card. And so this would be like the normal front of the Death card. But the really great thing is that the other side of it actually has that the Death is total transformation. So I feel like where this one came up here, but you absolutely can switch this around and have the complete transformation from this. So like this situation, in other words, this whole situation, you must face this face on, because if you don't, you'll have it just happen over and over again, like I was saying. But you can turn this, you know, you can transform this situation. Now doesn't mean that, you know, for some of you, you transform it by you let this person know, like, no, I can't have you in my life anymore because it's just not working. Or you cut and you know, make it very clear, like, here's my boundaries, here's, you know, here are the things I will or will not, you know, be able to work with. And there is transformation in that, because maybe they really, you know, want to, and they're ready to be a different person, but you can't, of course, do that for them. I do have the Three of Cups come up. Now this, one side of the Three of Cups shows 3 people, but this side of it shows just one person and then 2 empty cups. I feel like this is really someone who stood up for themselves. And whereas like in the past, it might have been like, yeah, there was, you know, 3's a crowd here, but now you're like, no, it's just me here. You know, you can't have more. I mean, you know, it needs to just be me. Your focus needs to be on me. My focus needs to be on me for me to be happy. There needs to be that balance for you. And then I get the Ten of Cups. So I feel like this love is coming for you. It may or may not be this person. It'll be different for each of you. This is a general reading. So, you know, be kind of aware of that. And then I get Three of Pentacles, which is, you know, really working together. This is a partnership card, and this is where you actually are working to build something of common, you know, something that you really want. I think it's pretty clear here, though, for you to be able to get this, you know, what the path is you need to take. Now, stay tuned for the fun little spread I'll be doing next, where you can kind of get some more timing on this spread. And thanks again for watching, liking, and subscribing to my channel. All right, now that we're done with that part of the reading, we're going to go into a fun timing activity that will give you a better idea or a sense of when some of the parts of this reading will unfold for you that resonated most with you. So what I'm going to have you do is think about 4 different time frames that feel the most likely happen with this story. For example, if you're like, you know, I don't really see this happening for at least a couple months, then pick that as your shortest time frame. But if you're like, yeah, you know, I really could see this happening within the next, you know, 3 weeks or so, then pick that as your earliest time frame. Then pick out your kind of your latest time frame, and then pick 2 other time frames in between, whether it's whether it's several weeks or whether it's several months. Assign a time frame to each, your ace of diamonds, your spades, your clubs, your hearts, and assign a time frame to each one of those. I'm going to go ahead and do the yes or no answer kind of reading, and at the end of the reading we're going to end up with 2 yeses and 2 nos. And the 2 yeses are going to be your time frame. Let's go ahead and get right into that one now. Okay, so we now have our 2 yeses, and your timing for your question here is contained in these 2 on the ends. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have. We have the ace of spades and the ace of diamonds. So whatever your time frame is that you chose, those are your outliers. And let's go ahead and take a look and see what we have coming up here. Well, we do have quite a lot of love on this side here. It does look like this started out with some kind of love relationship, that you will meet someone whether you have met them yet or not. And it does here say that you just really need to take action. So but not to be impulsive, but there is a new commitment, and it is time, you should take action is what's being recommended there. So you meet someone, you should take action, or they should take action, you both should. And be careful though that you don't get into kind of like a funk about things. Like I feel like if there's no action that's taken, like the tendency for that, this is a warning here, because otherwise you can kind of get stuck. And because here is also talks about indecision and a lack of faith, and then having difficulty moving forward in order to achieve change. So it just looks like there's love, but it looks like things are having a hard time getting off the ground because either one or both of you, and there's frustrations because of that, and then some confusion or doubt. And then there's a need to forgive and leave a situation that causes regret. So for some of you, it does feel to me like there, like I said, there was initially someone that you have met. Maybe this has already taken place. You've already met this person. And if things are really stuck and aren't, isn't happening, then what's going to be needed in order for you to move forward and get the love in your life that you really want is to let this go. And remember, and it's a lesson learned. And then it does also, again, talk about obstacles that could stand in the way of your success and missed opportunities. So make sure you don't have a missed opportunity come up, because then we end up with the King and the Queen of Spades. We had the Ace of Spades. Interesting, I think there was a lot of love there because we do have a lot of hearts, but all of the hearts that we do have are in the negative position, like in the reversed position, and have their more negative attributes there. So not that that message is for everyone, but that was there for some people who needed to hear it. Now here's another message about how to move things forward toward your love relationship that I'm assuming is your desire since you are watching this video. All right, so we begin out with some, it does talk about not making any big changes because there's financial difficulties. So, although it does say that there's success in a new enterprise, so I feel like some of you actually may have started a new job, or a new career, or you're an entrepreneur, or there's just something that you have started, the beginning of something, but it's causing some financial strain at first. And then you end up with a joyful outcome after that difficult phase. So things do turn around pretty quickly for you there. And so just really, that there's a lot to be grateful for in that regard. And but it does here talk about feelings of depression and hurt and anger have caused someone to be discouraged. Look past your anxieties because success will be eventual. Now, whether that's kind of in this the beginning here, or if it's kind of like, sometimes I'll read these and I feel like it's Not necessarily that this is the order that it happens in, but this is all pieces of advice that need to come forward for some reason. You do end up having new friends and associates, and I do feel like that if you haven't met someone yet, that's possible that it could even come through the workplace. Be careful that you respond quickly to repair your actions if you realize that you have hurt someone, because it could come back to, you know, kind of like a karma situation where it comes back around. Not because, I mean, you're a better person, of course, than doing it just for yourself, but you do need to watch out for things like that, because that energy of putting out something negative, even if it was unintentional, can come back and then make things difficult for you. So just make sure to put that into place. But you do have a feeling of happiness, and fewer problems are coming in regards to money. And then we do also have a matched pair again with the King and the Queen of Clubs, so that's looking good. Anyway, that's a little bit of a reading for your timing on the end of this spread.